Hey all, thanks very much for joining me on the Inkie Beard channel. I'm just going to do a quick little run through of the books and journals and sketchbooks and everything that I have already. Maybe talk a little bit about the stuff I want to get into. And then I'll also be talking about the other videos that will be shown on this channel. So we'll get right into it. This is my little Moleskine or Moleskine. I called it Moleskine for the longest time, and then I realized that there's an E on the end of it. So it's Moleskine, supposedly. This is my little bullet journal. Now, I don't do your traditional bullet journaling. This is kind of my own organizational system, if you will. It's basically bullet journaling, but I also have thrown in a kind of section for a food diary and an exercise diary, because I'm trying to kind of cut down my weight and watch what I eat and kind of track what I do every day. And then I also leave the page that doesn't have my actual bullet journaling on it. I leave this page blank so that I can make just notes throughout the day, so that I don't have to have a separate book of notes, and so that I can also just kind of see that day at a glance. At the moment I don't do an index. In my previous bullet journals I have, but at the moment I don't, just because I kind of want to go through it every day, and I should just be able to go, oh yeah, that was that day. That may turn around and bite me in the bottom later, but we're not quite there yet, so hopefully I can keep going with it. The next book you may have seen a bit of if you follow me on Instagram, but this is my trusty and very dirty sketchbook. So I will be doing a bit of sketching on the channel. So as you can see, it's not exactly full at the moment. I've only used that much. But I do like to do a fair few kind of little sketches on each double spread. So I want to kind of capture some of those, as you may have seen on Instagram as well. If you follow me, I do a lot of digital artworks, and I kind of like to, I personally really like seeing when someone has done like the outline and the kind of sketching, the stick sketching, and then they build it out into a full body, and then they detail it, and then they shade it and all that sort of stuff. And I really want to get to that point to be able to actually, because usually when I sketch, it's just I don't sit down and go, okay, I'm thinking of this specific thing. I kind of sit down with a pen and paper and I'm like, I'll sketch for a little while. So I don't usually have anything specific in mind, so they kind of grow on their own as I'm doing the sketch. But I'd like to kind of pre-plan and maybe do some actual shading, have an idea in mind before I get into it. So that's where I'm planning to head with that sort of stuff. I also have a giant, now this is, I'm not sure if you can see that, might be a little bit bright for the camera. I got this book from Barnes & Noble. It is a giant gridded, I want to say it was like 400 pages, something like that. This is my ideas book, and I did rule up the start and was going to do a Fibonacci, which has kind of been taken over by my bullet journaling. I'm not someone who is going to be putting a whole ton of embellishments or, like pretty paper or any of that sort of stuff. I'm very, I have a bit of a notebook addiction. I have so many books and just notebooks and notepads, and there was a point there where I had 3 separate gridded exercise books going at once on my desk, and I would just scrawl notes in all of them. And that's kind of where the bullet journal came in, is that I would like to just have one spot for notes, so that I can just go back and see where I was up to and where I've written some stuff down. So that's what I'm thinking, that I probably won't use the Fibonacci start section, I may actually turn that into something else, and this may actually become my proper bullet journaling book. I really love the Moleskine, the little, I think it's A6, I want to say. It's kind of this pocket, whatever this pocket size is. I don't think it's A6. I'm pretty sure A6 is a lot bigger than this. I don't know. I don't know what the size is that this is. I just call it a pocket notebook. So I'm hoping that maybe one day this will take over that. I am a freelance web designer by trade, I guess you would call it. And I need to kind of keep track on what I'm doing on what projects, and if I have a phone meeting, I need to jot some stuff down. So I think that this book may actually become that, because in the back you can see I've got two different washi tapes there. These pages are actually really thin, so Adele actually got me onto this, and if you've somehow stumbled across my channel before you checked out hers, thank you. But she is Inkie Quill, and Let's Get Inkie on YouTube, and she is massive into the giant notebooks, just like I am. So she got me onto this from Barnes & Noble. The great thing is that you can actually get it here in Australia. They will ship it out to you. I think it was $10 American, something like that, which is insane, because for something like this in Australia, with the kind of faux leather front and this many gridded pages, you would probably be looking at about $50, I would say, which is just insane. So even with the shipping, I think it turns out to be around about $25 Australian, and yeah, it is amazing. And if you can fill this up, I take my hat off to you, because that is a lot of pages, a lot of notes. So yeah, sorry, the back section, I kind of interrupted myself. The back section is where I just kind of have been writing notes and, different project ideas and stuff like that. So that's that book. Adele was also nice enough to get me a Dilutions notebook. I believe it's by Ranger. I don't know if you can see that, if the camera's going to pick up on it. But this is going to be my mixed media art book. I haven't really done much in it. If you watched our last live stream when Ben was over, I did this watercolor painting of Assassin's Creed. I kind of think that I am going to keep this as a bit of a fan art book. I'm going to be doing a lot of this kind of watercolory fan art from games. I'm huge into games. If you haven't checked out my other channel, The Gamery, head over there and have a look if you'd like. It's a little bit dead at the moment, but I'm hoping to get some stuff up on there soon. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more like paintings like this, based on well-known franchises, lots of fan art, and I'll probably be doing just some random mixed media stuff as well. I'll probably be doing some iCads as well, index card a day. Obviously there won't be a day, but I will be putting up some iCAD stuff on this channel as well. This was Heidi Shine that just spilt all over Adele's desk. I was trying to put the lid back on and I knocked it over. It just went everywhere, and I was forced to use my book as a soaker upper, I guess. So that's a really nice burgundy color there, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm thinking maybe, I don't know why, but it reminds me of Max Payne a little bit. I'm not sure if anyone's played that game from back in the 90s, but I don't know what it is. It just kind of reminds me, maybe the blood in the game was that color or something. And then I also have this giant sketchbook, just plain paper. It's got really nice paper in it. It's a really good size. It's a little bit wider than, I think this might be A6. Maybe if someone can help me out there. It is a Moleskine as well. Moleskine book, you can. There's no way the camera is going to pick that up, because it's just any of you, I'm sure you know, they just kind of stamp it in there, and the camera's just not going to pick that up. But the paper in here is really nice, and I'm hoping to do some, as I said, like actually plan out some sketches and do some really kind of detailed pieces in this book. So my white book is basically just anytime I want to just sketch, which I'm trying to get back into, because when I was, in high school and going through university and stuff like that, I used to sketch all the time, just while I was watching TV, or when I had a bit of downtime. And now basically all I do is use my phone, and I kind of want to get away from that technology a little bit, kind of get back to get back in touch with physical media, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I want to get back to making art, and this will be the channel that I'm going to put that sort of stuff on. I will also be doing, I use my iPad mini. It's fairly old and beaten up. It's got a few cracks in it, but if you follow me on Instagram or possibly Snapchat, if I can work out how to put them up there, I'll be posting my kind of digital artworks. The app that I use, Procreate, at the moment, it has a built-in recording function, which is absolutely awesome. I cannot recommend it enough. I will be doing app reviews of like sketching, stuff like that, and also organizational apps, stuff like Evernote, which everyone knows about, but stuff like that, other apps hopefully that I can find. And I'll be doing reviews of stuff like that, putting that sort of stuff up on Instagram, and possibly maybe at the end of the month I'll put them all together and just do like a little voiceover over the top, or music or something like that. One other thing that I would like to do, actually two other things that I would like to do on this channel. I am kind of obsessed at the moment with finding really good beard and mustache products. I know that a lot of the existing audience that I've kind of borrowed / stolen off of Adele is probably ladies, but please don't let that scare you away. You could, maybe use some of that information for your husbands or your sons or any of that sort of stuff. But also get them to watch it, maybe. I'm not sure. But I really want to do kind of men's grooming stuff, because I'm finding it really hard to find someone who will genuinely review a product. When I review products, I usually try and focus on the positives, but I'm not going to shy away from any negatives. And I like to do comparisons as well. Things that I've found with mustache wax, for example, is that there's a lot of waxy stuff, but then there's also kind of like a cement that you can use, which work very differently and maybe not will work for everyone's hairstyle. So my beard and mustache is quite wiry. It's kind of like steel wool. So for me, it's hard to find specific stuff and specific reviews for that sort of stuff. So yeah, and then, sorry, the other thing, quickly before I go, is I'd like to do TV show reviews and possibly books as well. Just stuff, kind of just saying, here's a really good show that I enjoy, and here are some reasons why you may like it. If you like these specific things, then you should really give it a try, because I think that a lot of review shows, again, they kind of focus on almost specifically the negative things, and then they don't kind of say, well, here's some reasons why you should watch this. They kind of like to focus on, well, yeah, it's a good show, but this and this and this and this are not great, and so 9 out of 6 stars or whatever, 6 out of 9 stars even. But yeah, I won't be using like a star review or any of that sort of thing. I'll just be saying, here's some really good shows, and these are some awesome reasons why you should watch it. So yeah, thank you very much for dropping by. I'll try not to say and as much when I do my videos. I'm not quite as established as Adele in her voiceovers and everything like that. She can absolutely knock it out of the park, and every time I do a video, she always pulls me up on how many times I and are and all the rest of it. So I'm hoping to get better. Thank you for dropping by, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!